Now then, take a look at this. These 10 cities have had the largest exodus of people in 2020. What do they have in common? I'll tell you. They're all run by Democrats. These are the cities that people are leaving most. Cabot Phillips is with us. Now, these people are heading to the red states. I can imagine those red state folks, they're real worried that the newcomers will bring their politics with them. That is a concern, isn't it?
It absolutely is. They're saying, come to our city with open arms, but don't come here bringing your Democrat policies because they failed wherever you came from. That list actually gets worse the further down you go. Of the 25 cities losing the most people, 23 of them are controlled by Democrats. Now, I'm sure that's just a coincidence, though. And there's a common trend here where people are flocking to cities for the economic opportunity. They get there, they end up voting for Democrats with their promises of a socialist utopia, and they realize voting for free things is nice. Paying taxes, footing the bill for those things is not nice. And as the economic opportunity goes down, regulation goes up, they start looking around saying, where are the opportunities for me? And it's in red states. Of the 10 cities gaining the most people, 9 of them are dominated by Republicans. And we've experienced that firsthand anecdotally at the Daily Wire, our publication. We were stuck in Los Angeles under the reign of Governor Newsom. We looked around, said, this isn't tenable for us. We can't afford to do business here anymore. We fled to Tennessee. No state income tax in Tennessee. It's a place open for business. And that is a trend that you're going to continue to see of people saying, voting for those policies didn't work. I need to get out. Now the real question is, do they bring those same failed policies to the new cities? And like you said, people in those red states are hoping they don't.
I can understand that. All right, Cabot, here's this one for you. We've got a former Facebook insider who wants conservative voices to be censored. Watch this.
We have to turn down the capability of these conservative influencers to reach these huge audiences. There are people on YouTube, for example, that have a larger audience than daytime CNN.
Wait, turn down capability to get these conservative messages out. That's a straightforward call for censorship, right?
That's exactly what it is. At least they're out in the open with it now. I can remember for the last 4 years, anytime a conservative brought up the question of social media censorship, what were they called? A conspiracy theorist. They said, that's ridiculous for you to assume that. You're falling for conspiracy theories. And now they're out in the open saying that conservatives need to be censored. I do think it's kind of a self-owned there when he's saying these conservative influencers have more influence over people than CNN. I think that's more of a problem for CNN than it is the fact that conservatives can do that. But the timing here of when these big tech overlords are coming out and saying that they're going to start to censor more is interesting. They're doing it when President Trump is essentially a lame duck. He doesn't have much political capital left, and there's certainly not time for him to combat these types of things. And so that timing is kind of giving insight into what the next few years will look like. Big tech knows that they're not going to have any foes in the White House or in Congress. So it could be a very difficult next 2 years with big tech censoring conservatives because there's not much of a check in D.C.
Well, the forces lining up against free expression of conservative opinion are very significant. As you mentioned, big tech. That's an extremely powerful group of companies. Social media, very powerful in the public square. And the left, Democrats on the left, they all want to get conservatives out. Do you think they'll manage it? I mean, they've got censorship. We've got censorship now. Do you think it gets worse?
I think it will absolutely get worse, and hopefully as it gets worse, people start to wake up and realize, wait a second, we don't want to live in a society that's doing this. And I do think that right now what the left is doing is scaring into submission anyone who could speak up. You've got a lot of people in the middle who aren't necessarily conservative ideologues, but why would they speak up when they look around and say, I don't want to be pulled off of Amazon servers and have our website taken down. I don't want to have to be censored. I don't want to deal with that. And so it's not worth it for a lot of these companies in the middle to actually speak up and a lot of these big actors to speak up. And I don't know what the solution is right now, frankly, Stuart. I'm a man that usually likes to throw you out solutions for everything, but this is a tough one because if the government gets involved too heavily, that same power could be turned against conservatives in the future. But the market right now doesn't seem to have a clear answer, a clear solution.
I agree.
The next few years are going to be vital.
Cabot Phillips, thanks for joining us. I think it's a crisis of democracy. Cabot, we'll see you again real soon.
Thanks,
Thank
Stuart.
you.